Welcome to Laurier Macdonald High School, an international baccalaureate world school in the heart of your community. We provide our secondary 1 to 5 students with one of 3 academic pathways. The enriched IB Civic stream is for those who are intrinsically motivated, internationally minded, and want to develop a strong connection between their academics and their community. Our immersion program is designed for those who believe that être bilingue, c'est gagnant. And our core program, which meets the basic requirements outlined by the Quebec Education Act. Senior students have the opportunity to qualify for advanced placement courses like calculus through the accelerated math pathway, or physics and chemistry through environmental science. They may also further expand their learning landscape through senior option courses like business management, creative writing, intensive team sports, home economics, and many more. Our Library Learning Commons is a flexible space that promotes a love of learning with exploration using our STEAM equipment. Our sports facilities include 2 large gyms, a fitness room, a pool, as well as an outdoor track and sports field. We have a large cafeteria that serves hot meals and many healthy a la carte items, always served with a friendly smile. Laurier Macdonald students are offered a multitude of opportunities to enrich their experiences and explore beyond the classroom, including educational trips, intramural sports, student clubs, and participation in community service projects. Join the Laurier Macdonald community where we provide education today for the world of tomorrow. For more information about Laurier Macdonald High School or to register, please visit our website www.lauriermacdonald.ca.
He was 4. She was 5. They were 3. They were 2, but they were one. One tribe, one heart, one life. Her long black braids, his comfy shoes, their languages, their dances, the way they waved, the wind, the trees, they took them, shook them. They tried to hook them to a way they just couldn't behave. They couldn't understand. They didn't have a stand. No love, no mom, no dad, no freedom, and no way out. Over 150,000 Indigenous children attended these schools. 150,000 Indigenous children attended these schools, away from their homes, their culture, their norms, to sufferance and pain, without nothing to gain. In the end, 80,000 children survived, went back to their village with nothing to do, nothing to say, everything lost, taken in vain. The last residential school closed in 1996. Laws were amended. They were trying to forget the tragedies that went on for years. Mothers in tears. Governments were opening their ears to hear what they had to say. Apologies were made until we found children in unmarked graves. It's time to make a change. Now today, on this special day, we remember their tears, their tribes, their ways of life, and most importantly, we remember them. The Inuits, the Métis, and all the First Nation people, our people.
Good evening, parents, guardians, students, and everyone joining us this evening. My name is Christina Chelsea, and I'm the proud principal of Laurier Macdonald High School. On behalf of all of our staff and students, I want to welcome you to our first ever live virtual open house event. Before we begin our evening, we would like to take this opportunity to commemorate the first National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. Today, September 30th, we commemorate the tragic and painful history of residential schools, as well as the ongoing and negative impact that they have caused. Right before I came on the screen, what I hope that you were on time to see is one of our students, Janna Samankis, took the time to write a beautiful poem, and she read it to all of our students today and read it for us this evening. In case you missed it, we will be posting it on our website as well as the EMSB social media pages. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is our first ever live virtual open house. Our first choice certainly would have been to have our families and our community come through our doors and join us in person. But we have prepared a presentation that we think will touch upon everything that you will need to know about our school and also why it might be the best fit for your child. I have some wonderful partners with me this evening, some of which you'll meet later on. But right now, I'd like to introduce our two wonderful vice principals, Ms. Serekia and Mr. Speel. I believe they'll be joining me on screen.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
So the three of us have been lucky enough to go to different elementary schools and speak to your children already, and we hope they're joining us as well this evening. And I'm going to pass it on to Ms. Serekia and Mr. Speel to give a little overview of how we're going to run this evening and what we'll be touching upon as well.
Thank you, Ms. Chelsea. So good evening, everybody. My name is Miranda Serekia. I've been a vice principal here at Laurier Macdonald for the last 8 years. I've had a lot of fun in the last week visiting the different elementary schools of the East End, speaking to your children. And like Ms. Chelsea said, we really hope some of you are here today because it's one thing to go home and tell your parents and your guardians about this presentation, and then it's another thing to experience it for yourself. So this year, as you see on my tagline, I am the VP responsible for the academics. And so I'm going to go through the different academic streams that we offer here at Laurier Macdonald. Then I'm going to pass it over to my partner, Mr. Speel, and he's going to speak to you a little bit about the student life. So at Laurier Macdonald, we offer 3 academic streams. The first is our enriched IB stream. So this stream is intended primarily for students who have followed the IB PYP, the primary years program. But if you haven't followed the PYP program, it doesn't mean you're not eligible, because the IB stream is basically designed for students who are strong academically. So if your child does well at school, they like school, they want to be challenged, they want to have more of an enriched course options or course load, then the IB stream would be ideal for you. I'd like to introduce Madame Barnabé, who is our IB coordinator. So she oversees the IB program, the implementation of it, and she also acts as a resource and a key support for our students in the IB program. So Madame Barnabé, êtes-vous là?
Oui, je suis là. Merci, Madame Serekia. Bonsoir tout le monde. Donc, comme Ms. Serekia vient de dire, je suis Valérie Barnabé et je suis la coordonnatrice du programme international ici à Laurier Macdonald. Pour Laurier Macdonald, le programme IB, ou IB Program, c'est notre programme enrichi et bilingue aussi. Ce programme-là veut développer la curiosité, la confiance en soi, puis aussi l'altruisme chez l'élève. On espère aussi donner la chance aux élèves d'expérimenter avec différentes façons d'apprendre et on espère que le programme répondre au pourquoi, comment, on comprend et on réfléchit sur toutes les différentes compétences qu'on a besoin pour réussir dans la vie. Au niveau du curriculum, comme Ms. Sarakia vient de dire, c'est un curriculum qui est enrichi. Donc, on voit tout ce qu'on doit voir selon le ministère de l'Éducation, mais on a l'enrichissement qui provient des compétences, de la philosophie de l'IB, c'est certain, mais aussi on rajoute des compétences, des compétences d'enrichissement, comme par exemple, en anglais, les cours d'anglais de la première à la 5e secondaire sont enrichis. Pour ce qui est du français, les élèves ont le choix soit entre le français langue seconde enrichi ou le français langue maternelle, mais en plus, on rajoute des composantes d'enrichissement. Aussi, pour la géographie et l'histoire, au programme IB, ils sont enseignés en français, ce qui est déjà un petit peu plus demandant en fait, mais on raccourcit le temps à l'horaire des enfants pour ces deux sujets-là parce que on rajoute une autre matière qui est l'espagnol. Donc, tout ça, ça fait que le programme IB est vraiment, enrichi, stimulant et enrichissant. L'académique pour le programme IB, c'est pas tout, c'est certain, parce qu'on veut aussi que nos élèves acquièrent l'ouverture d'esprit, soient altruistes, comme j'ai dit tantôt. Et pour ça, tous nos élèves dans le programme, de la première à la 5e secondaire, participent dans des activités d'action par le service. Et ça, ce que ça veut dire en fait, c'est, on le connaît sous le nom de community service. Donc, tous nos élèves vont dans la communauté, ils aident, ils participent à plein de projets communautaires. Donc, c'est très, très le fun. Puis, qu'est-ce qui arrive lorsque nos élèves du programme IB sont en 5e secondaire et ils appliquent au cégep? Nos élèves ont un avantage parce que, étant donné qu'ils ont fait le programme pendant 5 ans, ils ont fait des composantes d'enrichissement, ils ont fait l'espagnol, ils font des projets, le projet personnel. Tout ça donne des crédits, mais donne des crédits en extra qui les aident vraiment beaucoup lorsqu'ils appliquent au cégep. Et là, lorsqu'ils appliquent au cégep, qui fait partie du SRAM, qui est un regroupement des cégeps de Montréal, nos élèves du programme IB reçoivent un extra 2% sur leur moyenne lorsqu'on calcule la cote R. Bon, ça, c'est un calcul qui est fait pour les cégeps, mais tout ça pour dire que le programme IB, c'est le seul programme au Québec qui donne cet avantage-là de 2% extra sur leur moyenne. Et nous, ici, à Laurier Macdonald, nous sommes la seule école anglophone dans le IMSB qui offre cette chance-là à tous nos élèves qui sont au programme IB. Et si jamais nos élèves appliquent un cégep qui ne fait pas partie du SRAM, ils sont quand même très, très, très avantagés parce que tous les crédits extra qu'ils reçoivent, comme j'ai expliqué tantôt brièvement, tout ça les avantage aussi quand ils appliquent parce que si on sait, on vit dans un monde de compétition et donc, si nos élèves sortent avec beaucoup plus de crédits qu'un autre élève, ils sont avantagés lors du processus d'admission. Je vais arrêter là parce que je pourrais parler très, très longtemps, mais plus tard dans la soirée, vous allez pouvoir entendre des élèves parler de leur expérience personnelle dans le programme IB.
Parfait. Merci, Madame Barnabé. Since you mentioned there is an entrance exam for a student to qualify for the IB program, as well as some of our enriched pathways, would you be able to tell us a little bit about the entrance exam, how it works, how a student will prepare, and what it's looking at?
Oui, Pas de problème, Madame Serekia. Donc, l'examen d'entrée pour le programme IB, ben, c'est la deuxième année qu'on le fait comme ça. C'est un examen qui se fait de façon virtuelle. Donc, l'examen a 3 parties. Donc, la première partie, c'est une partie plus logique mathématique. Donc, c'est pour l'aspect mathématique du programme. C'est beaucoup, bon, comme j'ai dit, ça va au niveau de la logique et c'est ça qui va avec les mathématiques. Deuxième partie, on a la partie français, parce que le français, c'est pour savoir si les élèves peuvent faire français enrichi, français langue maternelle. Donc, c'est une composante français, lecture, réponse à des questions en français. Et la dernière partie de l'examen, c'est la partie qui est IB. C'est pour comprendre, pour voir l'aptitude de l'élève à l'étude, ses compétences d'organisation, ses compétences au niveau de gestion, je m'en allais dire gestion des travaux et tout ça. Donc, la préparation, je sais qu'il y a beaucoup de parents qui se demandent ça, mais pour moi, au niveau logique mathématique, français, c'est comme ça, on peut se préparer.
Merci beaucoup. C'est beaucoup d'informations, je sais.
Je le sais.
But definitely worthwhile. So thank you, Madame Barnabé.
Merci.
So the next stream that we offer at our school is our core stream. So the core stream is basically the required secondary school program that is mandated by the Quebec Ministry of Education. Students who graduate from the core stream would qualify for CEGEP entrance or vocational training or to enter the workforce right after high school. If we also offer enriched courses within the stream. So 2 of those would be our accelerated math pathway, as well as Français enrichi. So to talk a little bit about our math, I would like to introduce to you one of our fabulous teachers, Ms. Marcoliese. Ms. Marcoliese, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to talk about the accelerated math program. If your children are showing strong proficiency in mathematics, we encourage them to do the entrance exam to try out for the accelerated math program. Once they are accepted, they would be doing the secondary 1 and 2 math in 1 year. And as of secondary 2, they would always be 1 year advanced. So by the time they get to secondary 5, they would do a full calculus course. So the benefits, of course, is that students that take calculus in high school have a great advantage. Once they get into CEGEP, they do very, very well. And actually, a lot of our students come back to tell us that, that calculus course in high school really, really, really helped them.
Thanks, Ms. Marcoliese. What about our students who don't take the accelerated math pathway? How would they proceed in the senior courses in terms of their pathways? What are the options available to them?
Okay, so students that are not in the accelerated program have the opportunity to join the enriched stream as of secondary 4. So it's their grade in secondary 3 that will permit them to join this enriched math. They need an average of 75% and above, and then they will be eligible for 406 math in secondary 4, prerequisite for 506 math in secondary 5, which are both prerequisites for science and math programs in CEGEP.
Perfect. And if a student doesn't qualify with their secondary 3 grade, does that mean that the higher course options for secondary 4 and 5 are off the table?
No, actually, so if they don't make it in secondary 3, they have one more chance. So the summer before secondary 5 or the summer of secondary 4, they would be eligible to take the bridge course. So the bridge course is about a 3-week program where they fill in the gaps on what they would have done in the enriched math course. And then they are eligible for the 506. And actually, a lot of our students take this opportunity. I teach 506, so I get to see the kids that have taken the bridge course, and they blend right in. they're happy to have done it. So this way they're eligible for more programs in CEGEP.
That's great, Ms. Marcolese. Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us tonight. And that was a lot of information that you shared, so thank you.
You're welcome.
So one of our campaigns here at the EMSB in the last couple of years has been that être bilingue, c'est gagnant. And obviously, as an international school, this is something that we definitely take to heart here at Laurier Macdonald. And so I would like to introduce our next guest. She is a product of the EMSB. She's a graduate from our system, and she is now working with us and teaching in our school. So Ms. Riccio, are you there?
Oui, bonjour. Yes, I'm here.
Bonsoir. So Ms. Riccio is going to tell us a little bit more about the different French courses that we offer, the different levels.
Oui,
Bonsoir.
donc bonsoir. Alors oui, ici à Laurier Macdonald, on a 3 niveaux de français. Le premier étant le français en langue maternelle. Donc, c'est un français où on doit faire un examen d'admission au début de l'année pour vraiment voir notre niveau de français. Sinon, on a aussi 2 autres niveaux qui font partie du français langue seconde. Donc, il y a l'enrichi et de base. Alors, étant un étudiant ici à Laurier Macdonald, on a vraiment l'option d'aller dans n'importe quoi vraiment qui nous rend à l'aise comme étudiant, mais aussi étant donné avec nos notes et comment on communique. On va vraiment être placé dans un des français. Et qu'est-ce qu'on met vraiment beaucoup l'accent, c'est vraiment sur le bilinguisme. Donc, la qualité du français dans nos classes, la communication, l'interaction dans la classe, dehors de la classe. Et on explore beaucoup la culture québécoise, mais aussi la francophonie dans les autres pays. Étant donné qu'on est des étudiants, on a beaucoup d'étudiants qui sont bilingues, même trilingues. On adore ça et on l'encourage et on parle vraiment beaucoup des cultures francophones à travers le monde dans nos classes. Et on permet vraiment aux élèves d'acquérir des nouvelles stratégies de français pour pouvoir les utiliser, par exemple, dans le futur, dans le quotidien, au travail, dehors de la classe, vraiment avec leurs amis. Et on travaille ensemble, donc, tu sais, il y a beaucoup d'élèves qui viennent de différents niveaux et on va vraiment travailler ensemble comme une famille, voir nos qualités, voir qu'est-ce qu'on peut vraiment améliorer. On va s'entraider et on encourage vraiment ça. Et on développe beaucoup les compétences de communication et collaboration avec ça. Et ouais, c'est vraiment ça. Donc, ouais, c'est ça.
Parfait, merci. Puis, mettons, un élève veut passer d'un niveau de français à un autre par une année à l'autre. Comment est-ce qu'ils feront ça?
C'est faisable, vraiment. Premièrement, ça peut venir avec la recommandation du professeur. Donc, si l'élève a vraiment des très bonnes notes, qui montrent vraiment l'intérêt dans un autre niveau, le professeur va devoir dire oui, je pense que cet élève devrait aller au niveau, par exemple, français langue maternelle l'année prochaine. Mais c'est sûr que ça vient avec des bons résultats. Donc, ou le professeur le recommande ou l'élève montre vouloir ça. Mais c'est vraiment une option et c'est très faisable et je l'ai vu dans mes classes et même dans les autres classes des autres. Donc, oui, c'est faisable.
Parfait, merci beaucoup. C'est des très bonnes informations ce soir.
Merci.
Okay. And so, like we mentioned before, if your child is interested in the core stream, but you feel that they have an ability in French or an ability in math, it's not only through the IB stream that they would have access to these enriched classes. However, they would still need to write the entrance exam. So we're going to explain a little bit more about the entrance exam towards the end of the show. But it would be their pathway to access these higher courses in the core. The final stream that we have here at Laurier Macdonald High School is our resource stream. And we're very happy to announce that we've rebranded it over the last 2 years. We have an excellent team here. And our stream is, well, I'm not going to spoil the name because I know they're very proud of it and everything that they've done to change it around. So I'm going to introduce my next 2 guests. It's Miss Arcobelli and Miss Gabrielli. Good evening, ladies.
Hi, good evening.
So the resource stream is intended for students with IEPs or individualized education plan. These are typically students who have special needs or particular needs to help them basically get through school and the academics, but also the social aspect of school. So how is it that you guys have approached this new resource program?
Thank you, Mr. Rakia. So I'm Ms. Arcobelli. I'm one of the resource teachers here, and there's also my fantastic colleague, Ms. Gabrielli. We are very fortunate here at Laurier Macdonald, where we have 4 awesome resource teachers that really care about the program. We're very excited, as Mr. Rakia mentioned. So our program, revamped, is under the name Support to Success. Our adaptive resource program caters to students who are coded and or following an individual education plan. So an IEP is that legal document that is developed and created throughout a child's school years, elementary and high school. It's adapted throughout the way to better suit the child's needs. What we're doing here at Laurier Macdonald within our program at the junior level at secondary 1, 2, and 3, we are offering smaller class sizes. And then later on, we are also offering support to students to help foster their independence and help them to become more secure about their learning as they become more confident. We're really excited this year about our Support to Success classrooms. So we have 2 classrooms that are centered by subjects. We have our languages and social studies classroom, and then we also have our math and science classroom. What you can expect your children to see within these classrooms is a quiet space to work on assignments and tests. We also have access to technology, and we also offer individual instruction by our resource team.
Great, thank you. Ms. Gabrielli, maybe you can give a little bit more detail about exactly what it is your role is as a resource teacher in supporting our students with special needs.
Sure. So our whole goal is really to make sure that the students feel supported. So there's 3 ways that we really do that and support the students. The first is we have check-ins with the students once on a 9-day cycle. And this is really just to ensure that they are following their school program with ease and that the IEP is being updated if need be. So we speak to them about their IEP, about their adaptations. And if they express to us that there's any extra needs that they need or anything that they feel that they no longer need, then we speak with the teachers, with the parents, and we make those changes. We also support the students in the classroom, in the S2S classroom. So when they are sent here for exams or for assignments, one of the 4 resource teachers will provide the students with support based on our teaching specialties. And finally, also support in their classroom. So we will have little check-ins in the class where we'll go see the students and just make sure that they are following the lesson. We'll help them with whatever they need, including note-taking skills, organization of their binders, whatever they need us for in the classroom, we'll make sure that we're there for them. And they're really encouraged to just always come and see us whenever they need. Our doors are always open to our students.
Great, thank you. So we do have a question coming to us. So I was wondering if maybe one of you or both of you can explain the difference between a student who's in the resource stream and a student who's in the core stream but still has an IEP. So how would you distinguish between the 2?
So all students, regardless of whether they are in the resource stream or in the core stream, if they have an IEP, then they receive support from one of us, the resource teachers. The difference is really that the students in the resource stream do have those smaller classrooms and that extra support in the classroom, but regardless of which stream they're in, they always get support from their resource teachers.
Okay, so just to clarify that whether they're in a smaller resource class or in a regular class setting and they're integrated, they still benefit from your resources so that you would still support them within the classroom as well as in the S2S rooms to get the additional one-on-one.
Exactly.
Great. Okay, thank you, ladies, for that. So I would like to call upon Mr. Spelak, my new partner here at Laurier Macdonald. Mr. Spelak, are you there? Oh, we don't hear you.
There we go. Is that
It's
better?
always fun when we're live, isn't it?
Yeah. Totally.
I'm joining you as well. Yes, I'm joining you as well. I wanted to just address the last question that you touched upon, Mr. Eki, if that's okay. I'm not sure, I can't see the full question, but in terms of integration into the regular stream, our students are all integrated in the regular stream. So the resource stream is not, a different, they're following regular classes, they're following the regular school day. There's no difference in the day, the way the day runs. So they're integrated and can even be in some classes with students in the core stream as well. So it's not that it's a separate stream in the sense that they're not integrated throughout the day or into regular classes. So again, I don't see the question, but hopefully that answers. And we didn't mention this at the beginning, Mr. Speel and Ms. Rekia, but we will be answering questions if we have time at the end, and we will be posting answers to all the questions that we get, even the ones that we can't answer right away. So Mr. Speel, I think you're up now because we talked a little bit or a lot about our academic life here at Laurier Macdonald. And we know we're all parents, and we know that our kids, don't necessarily wake up and say, well, I can't wait to go to math class or science class. They often talk about the other part of school, the fun stuff, the student life aspect of school. And I think you're going to talk us through that.
Yeah. So I'm Ivan Speel. I'm basically in charge of the student life. And I wanted to say that, just like Ms. Chelsea has just mentioned, that student life is usually where it's why students love to go to school in terms of doing activities and participating in different events that are available at the school. It's part of the social aspect of the school. As Mr. Rekia outlined quite clearly, that we have quite a few programs available for them in terms of academics. And that's pretty much the meat of what we have in terms of the school, and it makes them grow knowledge and stronger throughout their lives, and hopefully transition into CEGEP and beyond. But one of the biggest parts we have in terms of student life at the Laurier Macdonald is I'm also an alumni of Laurier Macdonald. One of the things I remember is all the activities that Laurier Macdonald always offered. One of the things we have is a sports program, and the sports program is quite intense. We have different types of sports that we participate in terms of interscholastic sports, and we're able to compete in basketball, volleyball, golf, badminton, outdoor soccer, indoor track, outdoor track, swimming, flag football, and other sports as well. It's interesting to note that even though we participate in these sports, we have a multitude of different levels and age groups that participate in these sports. So there are we call bantam, midget, and juvenile teams that are initiated and created. And when we add up all the teams, including the leagues we participate in, we can often see that Laurier Macdonald participates between 40 and 60 different sports teams per year. So we're quite active, and we participate in quite a few different sports. Now, if they're not they don't get part of the sports teams as well, there are what we call intramural sports. We have so many teachers that are involved, and coaches as well in the athletic department and beyond. They often run lunchtime programs where you'll see things like water polo, basketball, volleyball. We just had another teacher, for example, today open up the fitness room to do workouts in gym, and it create a fitness club. So we are quite active in terms of participating active-wise. Now, in student life, it's not just about sports themselves, but we have different activities like dances, events, trips, and clubs and committees that are formed from the students. Pretty much any student that comes to us and asks us to form a club or committee, and they have a great idea, we often acknowledge it and try to find a supervisor to watch them and go with it and flow with it. One thing I'm just going to touch base on in terms of activities, back to activities, physical education classes and fitness classes often have different types of sports activities too, like water polo and other things. And times they have a great opportunity to use their fitness room, which is fully equipped. We have an amazing large soccer field behind the building itself, and a track as well. So the students have a chance to participate there at the same time. On our two large gyms, which we have a palestre and a large full-size basketball court at the same time. So they're quite active in terms of physical activity. Now, if the stream is not strong for them in terms of the academics and sciences and that, and they want to go and they look at it, trying to explore different avenues as they get into this senior education, they can also do what we call intensive sports. In intensive sports, they have an opportunity to do sometimes twice the gym a day. So there are different types of streams in the academics. They have opportunities and electives to choose from as well. So I can go on, but I think it's best to come from other individuals and teachers as well. And I'm going to invite Ms. DiVicaro to come in, and she's going to give a little bit of her experience of what happened and a little testimonial about her life as a former alumni also at Laurier Macdonald. Hello, Ms. Vika.
Thank you, Mr. Spilak. I've had the privilege of being a junior teacher for 15 years, and I like to tell my secondary 1 students coming in my story. I was the type of elementary school student who loved to be at school. I felt at home. I felt that the teachers were my extended family. And that first day in high school, and I got there and I looked around and I saw these people, so many strangers. I just felt homesick. I just wanted to go back to my elementary school. And I realized later in the year, perhaps too late in my first year of high school, that to feel at home again, I had to join the sports and the activities. And hearing you list what we offer at LMAC, it brought back so many memories. So that's what I did. I immersed myself in that, joined as many sports as possible, and yearbook and newspaper and dance club. And this is what I tell my students: join the clubs, join the sports, listen to the announcements, get involved. And there are so many teachers here giving their time, giving their best to the students in and outside of the classroom. It makes all the difference. It makes all the difference. And actually, I'd like to introduce my colleagues, 2 examples of these kinds of teachers, Mr. Pinto and Ms. Chevrier.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone. So we have Mr. Pinto and Ms. Chevrier, who are also alumni from Laurier Macdonald, and they're going to share their points of view in terms of trips and clubs and committees that we also have at Laurier Macdonald.
Okay, so I'd like to start first. I'm Ms. Chevrier, and welcome to my famous purple classroom. I'm so happy to be here tonight because, as Mr. Spilak said, I am a former Laurier Macdonald student, class of 96, high class of 96. And I'm just so happy to be here because one of the major reasons why I came back to teach at Laurier Macdonald is because my high school years here were so incredible. And as a teacher, I can say that that's just continuing. So when I was in Laurier Macdonald, I participated in lots of sports teams, but during the day, I also needed a place to call my own. And I used to find my way to the library because, as you can see, I love books. I'm the English teacher here. And so I would go to the library and I would be part of the book club. And so many years later, we still have a book club, but the library has changed. And let me tell you, OMG, it is a beehive of activity. So if your student comes to, your child comes to Laurier Macdonald and they walk into the library at lunch or even in the morning, they will see books, they will see computers, they can learn how to play chess. There's a makerspace, there's t-shirt printing press, there's robotics equipment, there's game boards piled to the ceiling. It's an incredible place to be. So just in the library alone, your child can come and find a space and feel at home and already be part of a club without even having to sign up. When you leave that library, you will be inundated with posters of every kind. And what do these posters tell you? Well, GSA club down the hall, art club in the media wing. We've had improv team. We've had social justice club, poetry club. That's my club. We had comité vert, prom committee. If your child wants to go to the workout room and hang out at lunchtime, they can do that and work out, obviously. A yearbook club. The list goes on and on. Also at Laurier Macdonald, we love a good holiday here, and so much so that we have a committee that is devoted to spirit. Yes, we have the one and only Spirit Committee, and they have given us the most romantic Valentines, the most festive Christmases, the spookiest Halloweens, and we are nothing if not competitive here at Laurier, and you don't need to be on a sports team in order to compete because there are competitions for best costume, which I have yet to win, competitions for the most festive, best decorated door, which I also have yet to win, and it's such a life. Every day is fun. If it's not a holiday, just a regular day. On a regular day, we might have a Jersey Day, a special carnival week. There's just so many fun activities going on here, aside from the rigorous academics, that it makes Laurier Macdonald just such an exciting place to be when you see the life. And it's not just during the day. We also have events outside of the school day. At night, we've had variety shows. We had a coffee house night where kids recited poetry. We've had, also nights where kids who like to sing and like to play instruments, we've showcased them on our stage. It's just a wonderful place to be. So what you're getting from Ms. Chevrier here in my purple room is that don't think twice. If you're wondering if there's a space for your child and their interests, there really is, because if the club doesn't exist today, it will exist if your child comes to us and says, hey, I'm really interested in this. And Laurier Macdonald will make sure that we will have a fun activity to add to our large list of activities so your student can find a place to call his own. Marcel?
That was great. That's going to be a tough follow. So I'm Mr. Pinto. Like Mr. Speel said, I am also a former graduate, and I could go on and on about this school. I love it. It changed my life. I was a shy kid, and now I'm speaking to a bunch of people live on an event. So I'm here to talk to you about our trips, right? Both our local, provincial, and international trips. I loved going on these trips when I was a student here. Created a better bond between myself and my teachers. It taught me different cultures. It expanded my worldview, but most importantly, it gave me lifelong memories. I still talk about my Sec 5 trip to New York with my buddies. The first time we had White Castle, that was always fun. So the different trips that we offer here at Laurier, as I mentioned before, both local, provincial, and international, varies from Cabane à Sucre to Classe Rouge, Neige Rouge. That's our return to nature weekend chalet getaway. We go to the old port where we go on a little, I guess you could say, treasure hunt where we get to learn about Montreal and we get to learn about our beautiful old port. In terms of provincial trips, we go to Quebec City, we go to Toronto, we go to the Hockey Hall of Fame, we go to Niagara Falls, we go to New York, California, Philadelphia, Boston. Our international trips where I would love to go back. Italy, France, Germany, Switzerland, Poland. We've even gone to Japan, which was pretty cool. What really sets Laurier apart, however, is our community and service. We go to Costa Rica as a community service trip. At Laurier, we like to call it our work hard, play hard trip. This is where we give back. This is where we give. This is where we make ourselves feel good, and we make other people feel good as well. This could be anywhere from painting a school, from building a well for fresh water. After we work hard and we make everybody around us feel good and ourselves feel good as well, then we kind of reap the benefits as well of being in Costa Rica and enjoying the beach, zip lining, mountain climbing. So hopefully we'll get back to all those trips, and hopefully you'll join us here. Thank you.
And we're back. Great. Well said, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing how the activities and the student life in Laurier Mac is just so large. And one thing is not just the student life that's large, but the building itself. If you've ever had an opportunity to visit Laurier Macdonald, you get a chance to see that we have a very large building. And I'm going to have an opportunity right now to share a special little thing that we've done and created here at Laurier Macdonald this past week. Is we put together a 4D rendition of our building. So right now you're getting a view of the website of our school. And you'll notice that where I'm clicking right over here, where it says 4D virtual tour, you get an opportunity to see our building in 4D. And you get a chance, just like in Google Street View, you have an opportunity to walk through the building itself. So it becomes very, very exciting. So if I rotate here, you get a chance to see me rotating. But if I do a overview again, we can go and visit different rooms. So for example, I'm able to go in and visit the gym area. And I'm able to rotate and see what our gym looks like. If you go back in terms of the map itself and say, you know what, you want to visit the caf, you just click onto the caf and you get a chance to see the cafeteria itself. Now, we also have a full cafeteria with a kitchen. So we serve meals and lunch and hot meals as well throughout the entire year at a low price. So we can feed your children at the same time. In this building itself, and if I click on it again, you'll see that we also have a large auditorium. So this is one little tool we've created for you to have an opportunity to view our building and come in person. Since most of you were not able to come because of this pandemic going on, we created this 4D visual tour to allow you to walk through that entire building, including Miss Chevrier's famous purple classroom. So we'll all get an opportunity to see that as well. The other thing I'd like to show you before I hand over to Miss Chelsea again is you'll notice that where we're located on the corner of VO and Jean Talon. And this is quite a high traffic area where buses come frequently at the same time. You'll see our building, and behind it, you'll see a large park, which is basically the park I was talking to you about, where the soccer field is and the track field is as well. Now I'm going to invite Miss Sarekia back as well, and Miss Chelsea, and we're talking a little bit about transportation. Now, we are served in terms of transportation with buses that will serve the area of RDP with express buses, and also in St. Leonard, both the morning and the evening. Oh, we're back on mute.
Yeah, Mr. Eki is on mute.
Sorry. That's correct, Mr. Spilak. So yes, we do have we have 2 dedicated express buses that service the RDP neighborhood. This year we have one 449 and one 448 express. They basically follow the same route that the regular 448 and 449 take. However, at a certain point, usually where they reach the metropolitan, it becomes a direct express to the school. These 2 buses also do the reverse in the afternoons. So direct express from Laurier Macdonald to the RDP area. We also have 2 other express buses in the afternoon. So the 136 and the 141, which would service the St. Leonard and Anjou areas.
I think it's time. They've been waiting patiently, and I must say we're so excited to have them join us. But we do have students who are waiting to come and tell their story and tell a little bit about their experiences here at our school. And all of us adults spoke before the show about how we were nervous. So they're nervous, and they're still here with us tonight and ready to speak to you. So I think we can invite, we have some teachers with them as well. So Ms. DiVicaro and Mr. Giancola, we will invite you back on screen, and we're also going to invite our 2 wonderful students, Sofia Perello and Donatessa Delisi. Hi, girls. You can take yourselves off mute, okay? And I think we'll have Mr. Giancola and Ms. DiVicaro, if they're still available, to join back in. And Mr. Giancola, you may have to turn on your camera if you can hear me. There we are.
Sorry about that. All right. Well, I think I'm going to start by just introducing our amazing students. So here we have Sofia and Donatessa, our 2 secondary 2 students who are currently enrolled in our IB program. And I believe what better way is there to showcase Laurier Macdonald by inviting our students to tell us firsthand about their experiences. And Ms. DiVicaro, you could continue. Yeah.
So girls, we're going to shift the spotlight on you. Can you tell our viewers what a day or a cycle, how that works here at Laurier Macdonald? So the students' experience.
Well, I love coming to Laurier Macdonald because I get to hang out with my friends, and I get to build my education, and yeah, it's a great school.
I agree. So the schedule of an LMAC student consists of 4 periods and a 9-day cycle.
Personally, I love having 4 periods because Other schools do have 6 periods, and 4 periods I find gives us more time to get deeper into the topic we're learning about, and we don't feel rushed, and teachers have time to teach us. And we also have 5 minutes in between each class to get to our next classroom, and we don't feel rushed, so it's great.
I have to agree with you, Sophia. From the teacher's perspective, having only 4 periods a day as compared to 6 gives us longer periods, and we can really delve into a topic before having to switch class. And I'm glad that you see it that way too. Thank you. Donatessa, did you have anything to add to that?
No, I think I agree with Sophia completely.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, not many people know this, but Laurier Macdonald High School is actually a late start school. So, Sophia and Dantessa, can you explain what that is to our audience?
Well, our doors they open at 8:30 a.m., which is great because class does start at 9:10. So if ever you're having trouble getting your children to to school at 9:10 or 9 when you should be in school, you could bring them at 8:30. And if you're in a rush in the morning, our cafeteria does serve fresh breakfasts, and school ends at 3:25.
So I personally enjoy starting later because it allows me to get enough sleep to be attentive for first period and have the energy to get through the day.
I also found that as a high school student, I was involved in a lot of extracurriculars. That meant I got home late. And then I started my homework late. I was up late. And having a later start, it's first of all backed by science that it's better for teenagers. But it was incredibly, it was great for me, busy student athlete, to start later. I can get an extra hour of sleep. So I love it. I see a difference in the kids. We used to start at 8 way back 15 years ago. And I think it's been a great change for us. Girls, I have another question for you. So we recently became one school with our junior. How does the junior senior division happen, and what is, from the student's perspective, what are the benefits of that? How has this been helpful for you? Can you describe what it is and then how it makes you feel?
So the juniors and seniors are separated. The juniors classes as well as their lockers are located in the A wing, and the seniors, on the other hand, have their lockers and their classrooms in the C wing.
And do you find that helpful, Donatessa?
Yeah, I like it because when I was in Sec 1, I felt not rushed to run from class to class my first year, and I feel like I'm way more prepared now because of that in Sec 1.
Thank you.
I personally like this because at lunch, our lunch is divided into 2 parts. The first 30 minutes for the juniors is lunchtime in the cafeteria. We're not allowed to leave the school, but the seniors are. And the last 30 minutes is recess in our schoolyard. And I think this is great because we do get to be around our, people our age, and it's better for us to be, socializing with our peers, and the older students do get to eat out.
Okay, thank you, girls.
All right. So very quickly, Sophia and Donatessa, is there a uniform at Laurier Macdonald? And if then, do you like our uniform?
So all of the students have to wear the gray uniform pants, although we have a choice of tops. So that includes a long sleeve and short sleeve polo, the cardigan that I'm wearing, and the sweatshirt that Sophia is wearing.
I'm wearing the sweatshirt over here.
Yeah, I have to say our students are really enjoying our uniforms. Actually, they're a little different this year because we introduced the sweatshirts, and I think it has been a very popular option amongst our students.
It's a hit. The sweatshirt is a hit. Yeah. Okay. Well, ladies, we're an IB school, and you knew this question was coming. What do you get from IB? What does it mean to you?
So, a lot of the questions that the teachers told me to prepare for was what is IB and why do we like it? So, the IB stream is a student focused curriculum aimed for students who want to excel academically.
Como un estudiante de IB, tengo la oportunidad de aprender español. Being an IB student means that we have the opportunity to learn Spanish, which is great because Spanish is, in this generation, it's great to learn as many languages as possible, and Spanish is one of the main languages, so it's great to be taught that at a young age. When I started the IB program, I actually knew no Spanish, so it's and now I can speak phrases, so it's a great program to be in. And as an IB student, we become more fluent in the French language because we do have the geohistory class, geography and history are in French. Being an IB student also helps me develop skills that I will use not only in high school, but after I graduate. And we have the opportunity to participate in IB games and workshops, helping us to build teamwork and trust with our peers. This year, we did do the IB games at the beginning of the year, and I thought it was great because I got to connect with the older students too. So it was very fun. And when we do class projects, we learn to reflect on which IB profile attribute we used and developed during the project.
Thank you.
One of my favorite aspects of IB is the community service. I find that volunteering in our community helps us build leadership abilities that will be useful in the future and assists us in being caring, principled, and knowledgeable. I appreciate how we can be an engaged citizen and help out in our community in ways that we are passionate about. Our school offers very interesting community service opportunities. We also have an amazing community learning center where Miss Bobby brings the community to us. This space provides opportunities for us to learn, engage, and interact within our community.
Thank you so much, girls. That was fantastic. You girls were excellent, and I think on behalf of us, Ms. DiVicaro, myself, and the administration, and all the other teachers, we're really proud and happy that you helped us tonight. And that will conclude our section. So I think I'll invite the administration to return.
Girls,
Thank you.
Well done, ladies. Well done.
and
They were excellent.
I want to let you know, girls, before you go, that we have some nice comments with lots of hearts for you girls and saying how proud everyone is of you. So thank you again for joining us this evening. We do have a couple of questions. We tried very much to answer as many as we could. We had some questions about, and I'll ask Mr. Eki and Mr. Speel to join me in case they found some that I didn't, but we did have some questions about the CLC. We are a CLC school. We're one of two high schools that are CLC schools. And we have Miss Bobby, who is our CLC liaison. She won't be speaking this evening because we have a lot that we can speak on, but we didn't want the show to last too long. Essentially, our CLC, like the girls mentioned, it's really just to ensure that our learning in the classroom and outside of the classroom is authentic and it's connected to real life opportunities. It's connected to the community. And so we try to give back to the community with our students, but also we invite the community into our school. So we have lots of guests, lots of visitors that come and speak to our students. And we try to form those bonds and keep them going with our community members and organizations and just things like that that can enrich our school and the lives of our students, and that our students can help enrich the lives of others outside of this building. And so that addresses the question on the CLC. And we do have a lot more information about everything we spoke about tonight on our website. Actually, this is a good time, Mr. Speel, if you can join me. I think you're able to set up so that we can share your screen and we can maybe just show a quick view of our website so that we can show our guests where you can find the information you may be looking for specifically for registration coming up soon and the different things that we discussed tonight.
Okay, I'm kind of logged out right now. I'm gonna try to see if I can share my screen here.
Okay.
Give me a second. And having a little bit of difficulty, but it should be fine. Hold on. Let's see if we can get that.
I think in the last couple
I'm not able to share a screen right now.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. I think what we'll do is maybe just walk them through it. So even if you can't see it on the screen, when you go to our website, you will see there's tabs everywhere. And so everything you're looking for in terms of open house, in terms of registration, in terms of our programs, you can definitely find that on our webpage. Specifically, what we talked about in the academic life portion of this evening's show, I guess, that's there as well. And so if you want to see it, I mean, it's one thing for us to say it on screen, but if you want to see it and read it and take time to really look at the details and the difference between the different streams, the differences, you can do that online as well. We have also a new way of doing registration, which makes it really easy, I think, and it's very user-friendly. It's a Google form. You can find it on our website under the registration tab. Many of you have already done it. We've been getting all the responses, and so it's going to ask you for the information that we need to ensure that you are on our list of registrants, specifically for the entrance exam that we have coming up on October 16th. It's a Saturday. The entrance exam, we may have mentioned this earlier, but in case we didn't, it's from 8. We have to be available to do the exam from 8:30 to 12, and we will let you know the spot for your child, so they'll have a given time slot. Again, this is on our website, so you don't have to be, I hope no one's taking notes as I'm speaking. It's all there for you to see. The entrance exam is October 16th, but we have a deadline of October 4th to fill out that Google form on our site and let us know that you are registering so that we can add your name to that list. That exam is for entrance to the IB program, but it's also for students in the core program who want to be considered for the enriched French or the advanced math options that we discussed earlier with Ms. Richo and Ms. Marcogliese. I believe, if I'm seeing it correctly as I'm speaking, if you're in the chats, you can also see where to register. You can see the link for our website. It's on the screen as well. And if ever there's anything on these platforms that, or if there's something missing from these platforms that we can help answer, you can call us at the school. You can write to us. I'm not sure if we can get our school email address on the screen, but it's on our website as well. And we also plan to, I said at the beginning, we would look at all the comments and make sure we didn't miss any questions. We are going to put a frequently asked questions document on our website as well, so that we can make sure that your questions are answered. We know, I have kids myself, and it's not easy to choose a school. We have some incredible schools in the MSB, and they all offer many wonderful things. We know that, and it is a difficult choice, but we wanted to showcase what we have here, and we know that it's a big decision, and we hope that you will visit our website and get all the information you need over and above what we described this evening. I will invite Mr. Spilak and Ms. Rekia if you have anything to add, or if we missed any questions that we should be answering right now.
No, I think you said it all, Miss Chelsea. Like we said, we only have a certain number, a limited amount of time right now, but we do realize that this is an important decision that families will be making, and it is not something that you should be taking lightly. So do take the time to peruse our website, follow our social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram. It really gives you a good insight as to what the day-to-day is like at Laurier Macdonald. You get a good view of what our values are, the types of activities that we do, some spotlights on some of the academic activities that we have. It really gives you a nice snapshot, because that's kind of what we've been running for the last couple of years, and so you see the consistency year to year. Like I said before, it's my 8th year here. I'm a very proud Laurier Macdonald team member. We have a great staff, great school, and we hope that this becomes your next home for the next 5 years. So do take the time to look these things over, and we are always available if you have any further questions moving forward.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Rekia. It's great because we have a lot of things to offer to students that are coming from grade 5 and 6 as well. It's not just everything from the academics to the student life. We have an extensive portfolio in terms of supporting them. At the same time, we have a great guidance counselors to help them out as well, and professionals to follow them to make sure that their entire path from day of entry all the way to day of exit, they're taken care of from that moment. And we hope to see them soon as well.
We want to take this chance. We said we would keep it to an hour. We're just 5 minutes over, which is pretty good because I think we all speak maybe a little longer than we wanted to. But we want to thank you for joining us. This was, I mentioned before, we were all very nervous. It's the first time we do a live virtual event, and so it comes with some extra nerves. But we are so proud of our school and being able to highlight it in this way and give the details that you'll need to decide if this is the right school for you. This was a really nice evening for us, and we enjoyed doing it. So we thank you for tuning in. Again, visit us, call us, reach out, and we will answer any questions you may have. And I think that's it. Thank you.